Hey, well, and welcome. You know that feeling, right? You're standing in front of your bathroom sink, looking at all these bottles and jars, and you're just thinking, okay, where on earth do I even start? Well, if that's you, you are definitely not alone. Today, we are going to cut through all that confusion and get to the bottom of how to layer your skincare the right way. So let's just ask it outright. With all the serums and the toners and the oils and creams, does the order you put them on actually make a difference? The short answer? Oh, it's a huge yes. Trust me, getting the order right is the absolute key to making sure those products you spent your money on can actually do their job. If you only remember one thing from our chat today, let it be this golden rule. Always, always apply your products from the thinnest consistency to the thickest. I mean, it's just basic physics, right? A lightweight, watery serum just has no chance of getting through a heavy, thick cream that you've already put on. So by layering from light to heavy, you're giving every single ingredient a fighting chance to absorb into your skin and work its magic. Now, to make this even simpler, let's think about your daily skincare not as a chore, but as two totally distinct missions. You've got your morning mission and you've got your night mission, and each one has a completely different goal. So, let's break down those missions. Your morning mission is all about protection. Think of it like you're putting on a suit of armor for your skin. You're shielding it from the sun, from pollution, from all the junk the day is going to throw at it. Your night mission? That's all about repair. This is when the cleanup crew comes in. It's their job to fix any damage, encourage renewal, and just restore your skin while you get your beauty sleep.
Okay, so let's gear up for that morning mission. The entire goal here, the whole point, is to prep your face for the day ahead and keep it safe.
For just about everyone, a really effective morning routine comes down to these three non-negotiable steps. First up, a gentle cleanser to just wash away any oil or gunk that built up overnight. Second, a good moisturizer to hydrate your skin and support its protective barrier. And third, what I think is the most important step of all, sunscreen. This is your number one, hands down, best defense against premature aging and, more importantly, skin cancer. The key here is to use a broad-spectrum sunscreen with at least SPF 30, and you got to use it every single day. No excuses, no, but it's cloudy days. It should always be the very last thing you put on your skin in the morning, right before any makeup. All right, the day is done. Time to switch gears to our night mission. This is when your skin goes into major repair mode, and all the products we use are there to support that really crucial rebuilding process.
So, the evening basics. They often start with a double cleanse, especially if you wear makeup. First, use a makeup remover to dissolve everything on the surface. Then you follow up with your regular cleanser to get your skin truly clean. Nighttime is also the perfect time for any spot treatments, because they can get to work on blemishes without being disturbed. And finally, you seal it all in with a richer night cream to help with that all-important skin repair.
And this brings up a really key point. There's a reason some of these more powerful products are strictly for nighttime. Ingredients we call actives, things like exfoliants or retinoids, they can actually make your skin more sensitive to the sun. So using them at night lets them do their job without you having to worry about that added risk of sun damage. It just makes sense.
Okay, so you've totally mastered the basics. Awesome. But what about all those other bottles that are probably calling your name from the store shelf? Let's level up and figure out where all the extras, toners, serums, and oils, actually fit into all of this.
First up, toners. Now, I want you to forget those super harsh alcohol-filled astringents from back in the day. That is not what we're talking about. Modern toners are used right after you cleanse. They're these light, watery liquids that add your first layer of hydration back into the skin and just sweep away any last traces of dirt, prepping your face for everything that's coming next. Next in the lineup, we have serums and essences. You can think of these as the real powerhouses of your routine. They're the specialists you bring in to target specific problems. Because they're usually pretty lightweight and kind of gel-like, they go on after your toner, but before your moisturizer. They're packed with a potent dose of active ingredients, like vitamin C for brightening or hyaluronic acid for a huge boost of hydration.
And what about face oils? Where do they fit in?
Well, oils are what we call occlusives. That's just a fancy word meaning they create a seal or a barrier on your skin. So their main job is to lock in all that moisture and all the amazing products you just applied underneath. And that's exactly why they're one of the very last steps in your routine. This really just brings it all back home. It's like the experts say, it's about applying products from lightest to heaviest. And why? So those key ingredients can actually get to where they need to go. Following that simple logic is really the difference between your products working and your products just, sitting on top of each other doing nothing. So let's just visualize this whole thing by texture. It's really simple when you see it this way. You always start with the most watery products, that's your toners and your mists. Then you move on to anything that feels a little more gel-like, that's going to be your serums and essences. After that, you bring in the heavier stuff, your creams and lotions like moisturizers. And what's the very last step to lock it all in? That's right, your face oil.
Listen, with all these rules and all these steps, I get it. It can start to feel a little overwhelming. So let's take a breath and remember the most important rule of all. This is your routine. The goal is never to have some rigid 10-step regimen just for the sake of it. It's all about listening to your skin and finding what actually truly works for you.
So let's do a super quick recap of the main points. Your morning routine is for protection, your PM routine is for repair. You always apply products from thinnest to thickest. Please master the basics, cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen, before you go crazy adding extras. And you know what? The absolute best routine in the world is the one you'll actually do consistently.
And that's the truth. You do not need a bathroom cabinet overflowing with products to have great, healthy skin. The best thing you can do is just learn to listen to your skin. Is it feeling dry today? A little oily? Breaking out? Adjust what you're doing. Think of it less like a chore and more like a fun little experiment in self-care.
And that brings us to the end. So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. After everything we've talked about today, what do you think is the one single, non-negotiable step in your routine that your skin just can't live without? Something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.